Hello and welcome to the third episode of the ArcticCrafts podcast. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Vesterålen in northern Norway, where I live with my husband and our 3 cats. Today is a really sunny day. It's a blue sky and it's a lovely fall day. It's about 12-13 degrees outside. And I have had a really busy morning because I have tested out different locations for where I was going to sit when I did this and decided that I should keep on using the same spot. I tried sitting at a dinner table, but I got the sun directly in my face. And because I'm getting hot flashes every now and then, that's not ideal. I don't want to look like a sweaty mess when I do this. So, welcome back to those who have put up with me for the first 2 episodes. Hopefully you'll stick around for the rest. I haven't been dyeing this week, so I have nothing to show you from my own yarn, but I've decided that later on in the episode I will be showing you the samples that myself and friends of mine have knit up for my fair at the end of October. But we'll start where we normally start, with the shawl behind me. And this is my sister's shawl by Cozy Up Knits. I knit this at a larger gauge than I was supposed to, so mine is almost a blanket. But it's really nice. I've knit it with commercial yarns, and I think it was their first mystery knit along. And I really love it, but I hardly ever get to use it because it's so big. And now I realize I forgot something. If you're interested in where you can find me, I'm on Facebook as ArcticCrafts by Bente, on Ravelry as ArcticCrafts65, and on Instagram as ArcticCrafts, and my Etsy shop is ArcticCrafts by Bente. And then we'll go over to the FOs. I actually have a FO. If you remember last time I showed you my Pixie Dust by Tammy Gore, I finished it. I needed this for a sample for the fair, so I was quite monogamous with this one. And it's really big. I ran out of the Peony. This color is Peony. It looks almost off-white on camera, but it's a soft pink. So I ran out of Peony, so I had to start with green Guacamole earlier than I was supposed to. This purple with the pink splashes is called Nebula. And I also had to do a bit of hacking at the end. In the brioche section I had to shorten this green band a bit, and I was supposed to have peony, some rows of peony at the end, but as I was saying, I ran out of yarn, so mine doesn't look quite like the original, but close enough. And then I have something popularly known as a hoe, because I have half a sock pair finished. And these are my autumn socks. And the Holloway is called Autumn. It's by Turtle Pearls. And this yarn was gifted me by my friend Melinda Meeser in Canada, also known as Rye Flower Knits. The yellow in the heel is gilded by Beehive Yarns. And this is how far I am on my second sock. The reason why this sock isn't finished is because I decided to cast on a sweater. I know. That's just me for you. By the way, the socks, that's just my ordinary sock recipe. Vanilla sock. 64 stitches on 2.25 needles. And for these I've used German short row heel. But sometimes when I do self-striping, I also do the afterthought heel. So, but this one I did while I was knitting. And I wanted to do it in the middle of the brown stripe because I thought that looked good. And now for my work in progress that I've been exclusively working on. And also I'm going to teach you people something. We have this really popular Norwegian project bag designer. And everybody, it seems, have one of our project bags. And this is the name of the company. And it's pronounced plystre. Just so you know, it's plystre. And this was a birthday present from my husband. Because they're quite expensive. But I've got my very own plystre backpack. And they always come with a project bag. And I love this project bag because it's got this pocket with the grommets inside of it. So if you have more than one ball of yarn on the go, you can use this and not get them all tangled up. Speaking of tangles, I have a sneaking suspicion that this is tangled. I'm knitting something I've knitted once before, On the Beach by Isabel Kramer. And I'm knitting it in my own yarn. This is Unicorn. What's a unicorn? This is the merino soft fine, and it is really soft. I've done a slight change because the pattern is you're supposed to just have a roll-up hem. You're not supposed to do anything at the bottom. But I made an I-cord. I did an I-cord bind off because I try to block this out so it doesn't roll, because I don't like a roll hem. I'm also going to do an applicated I-cord in the V-neck to make that look the same as the hem. And I'm of course doing an I-cord bind off on the sleeves. And I have to show you this progress keeper. My best friend Sue in Canada sent me this one, and I believe she has the other half. Let's try to focus on this. I just hide my face, shall I? It's a half a heart. I showed you this time, I think. Showed you this the last time. But it matches because the bead is violet, and so is this sweater. It may look grey, but it's really a soft lilac purple. So that's the only thing I've been working on. So all my other whips have been hibernating for the last week. And because I don't have a lot of content because of that, I decided to show you my samples and maybe talk a bit about life in general at the end. I have quite a lot of samples in here. So let's start with the socks, shall we? This pattern is Vanilla Latte by Virginia Rose Jeans. Sorry, here I am telling you that you're butchering plystre, and I may butcher other people's names for all I know. The colorway is Knitters Make the Best Friends. I came up with this colorway because I had a rough few days and I got a lot of support from the knitting community. So this symbolizes, the black stripe symbolizes when you're down in the dumps and down in the dark place, and all the colored speckles represent all the knitters all over the world and all the different knitters. So that's my Knitters Make the Best Friends. And here we have a sock called Roots Run Deep. That's by the Crazy Sock Lady. And I've knitted this in my poldale sock. and the colorway is Autumn Leaves. It's a bit muted on the poldale, but I was getting used to dyeing on the poldale, and I've gotten it much better now. But this is what it looked like the first time I tried to dye Autumn Leaves on poldale. Every time I try a new base and try to use my recipes, it turns out slightly different. Sometimes it's because it's superwash or non-superwash, and sometimes it's just the different fibers. And I also have this hat. That's one of the first samples I knit. It's the Brushstroke Hat. And if you see, it's got a really cool stitch pattern. It looks like brush strokes. And it wasn't difficult to knit, but it took a long time because you're knitting every row twice. So it took a lot of time. I had enough yarn left for a pom-pom. I normally never use pom-poms on my hat, but this was going to be a sample, so I thought it looked good. The colorway is Blackcurrant Ice Cream. That's my husband's suggestion. I showed him a skein as it was drying and asked him, I really love this colorway, but what should I name it? And he said something blackcurrant ice cream. Oh, he of course didn't say it in English, but blackcurrant ice cream. So that's that one. I almost forgot. It's Black Cat Knitting Company. The pattern. The designer is Black Cat Knitting Company. And then we have a new design by my, it's not new, but it's Melinda Miser again, Rye Flower Knits. And this is called the Hip to be Square Cowl. I was dyeing up rainbow mini sets, and I wanted to incorporate some of the colors in a project. And I decided that the Hip to be Square Cowl by Melinda Miser was perfect. I'm not putting it on, trust me, it's too hot. The dark colorway, the main color, is my Dark Jewels. And this is Rainbow Minis. As you can see, I didn't use the entire rainbow because the pattern only has 5 colors. And my rainbow has 6 colors. So I skipped one of the purples. Excuse me. Then I have this one. This is knit by Nikola C. Mendes in Germany. She has knit me 3 samples. And this is the Yorkville hat by Knitting Expat Designs. And this colorway is called Lupine. We have lots of lupine flowers growing along the road here, and the color just reminded me of it. And this skein is dip dyed. And I was going to make a gradient, but then the color broke. So the bottom part of the skein was almost blue and the top became almost pink. So then I decided, and as you can see, if you knit it up in a hat, it looks stripy. By the way, this is my Falkland Merino DK base. And if you remember, I mentioned the Rødsildre, the collaboration I did with Melinda, Rye Flower Knits. And this is the first one I knit. I've showed you the one in Virginia Tobacco, but this is the first one I knit. And this is my colorway Arctic Spring. And again, this is my merino strong fine. So this is my sock, used to be my sock base, I should say, because I'm having a bit of trouble with my supplier. So I'm changing up my bases. So what used to be my main sock base, the merino strong fine, is being exchanged for the poldale. And the poldale takes the dye really beautifully. So I just decided I should change it up. And I have another shawl. This is also knit by Nikola C. Mendes. Excuse me for all the mess I'm making. This is a design by Hohi Locatelli, and it's called Jujuy. I think. Again, the butchering. And this is knit up in my blackcurrant gradient. It's the same color but different saturations. I have one of these in my shop, by the way. One of these gradients. Three skeins. And that's my merino fine. I have two different 100% merino fingerings. I have one that's called soft fine and one that's just called fine. It's both of them are 100% merino, but one of them is a bit one of them is a lot softer than the other. I think it's one of them. One of them may be superwash. I have to check. And this is another sample knit by Nikola in Germany. And this is the Stormy Sky Shawl by Life is Cozy. And the colorway is blood orange. I love a good orange, and I decided that I should see, I'm putting it on for you. I love the tassels. She put on tassels. I really love them. It's an orange with red and white specks in it. And the last shawl in my samples is also knit in the DK, Falkland Merino DK, and it's and as you can see, I'm finally getting around to putting tags on my samples. So it's just my logo on one side, and and with the sun coming straight into the camera, this isn't possible to do. As you can see, that's the strength within. The colorway is Dark Jewels and design Melinda Meeser. I'm going to put those tags on all the samples before the fair. And I love this shawl. Normally I'm not too fond of DK shawls, but I thought, okay, it's a sample. You're not going to wear it. But this I may actually wear, even though it's a DK. And there again, you have the cat. Remember I told you about the talkative cat last time? He decided he wanted to speak to us today too. And I think that's all the knitting I have to show you for this time. It's actually not any more knitting. So life in general, as you can see, I haven't taken out the stitches on my face. I'm trying to get it done on Monday. I haven't got time today, both because I'm podcasting today and I'm also going on a trip this afternoon. In Norway we have something called the Coastal Express. It's kind of a cruise ship that starts at the southern tip of Norway and it goes all the way up to the north, and then it turns around and goes back south. And we have two at the same time, one that is going south and one that is going north. And here in Stokmarknes we have the one that's going north stops here at about I think it's about 2 in the afternoon, 2 p.m. and it goes an hour later it keeps on going. And we're going to get on the Coastal Express here and take it to Svolvær, and that takes about 3 hours. And then we're having dinner in Svolvær, and we're taking the southbound Coastal Express back here afterwards. It may be the other way around, northbound, southbound, I'm not sure. I live here, and I've never been on the Coastal Express. I've been on board when it's been docked, but I've never traveled with the Coastal Express, so this will be a first. I'm trying to get some footage because there are some really awesome landscapes and things to see on the way. So I'm going to take some footage with my iPhone, and hopefully I can add that to the next episode. And I'm not sure I have a lot more to talk about this time. It's a short episode because I have a busy day and I don't have a lot of knitting to show you. I probably next time I'm going to show you my different bases. I have been changing my bases around a bit, but I guess that's normal for a new dyer. You're not sure what to keep and you meet new suppliers, so you try out different kinds of yarn. And now I think I have decided what to keep. At the moment I have 3 different worsteds in the shop, and one of them is going out, and that particular worsted base is on 30% off in the shop at the moment, and you'll find links to all this down under this video. And I'm also reminding you that I have a pattern giveaway for Rye Flower Knits in my Ravelry group, and I'll be drawing the winner of that one, random number generator, before the next episode, and be announcing it then. And the prompt is something fun about Halloween, because in Norway we don't celebrate Halloween quite like you do it in the US. It's been more and more Americanized, but it's always been All Hallows Eve in Norway. And the only thing we do is we go to the cemetery and put down lights on the graves of our loved ones, and that's just it. So I wanted anything from recipes for food you normally make for Halloween to fun memories from Halloween, stuff like that. And the winner gets to choose a pattern of their own choice from the Rye Flower Knits library. You can get her patterns both in Ravelry and on her website. So hopefully you'll join us in the Halloween thread, and I'm going to cut it short because I have a lot of stuff to do today, and hopefully I'll get time to edit this so I get to put it out before I leave for the Coastal Express. If not, I'll just have to edit and post it tomorrow. And Severus Snape, the cat, he's making me nervous. Suddenly he's going to jump up and wreck everything. Maybe he wants to jump up and say hello. Doesn't look like it. He's going crazy. I think that was it. The pattern giveaway and the samples, my knitting. I think that's it. So till the next time, maybe the next episode will be longer if I get more knitting done, but at least I'm getting some dyeing done next week. I haven't been able to dye this week because we have a house guest, and not everybody appreciates the smell of wet sheep, and I dry my yarn in the bathroom. So I'm getting to dye again on Monday. Really looking forward to it. And I'm thinking about dyeing up some sock sets. I've always been a fan of the sock sets where you get a lot for your money, because you have a 50-gram skein of the main color and a 20-gram skein of the heel, toe and cuff. And that's enough for a pair of socks. At least in my size, it's enough for a pair of socks. So you get a pair of socks in hand-dyed yarn a bit cheaper, because it's only 70 grams of yarn. So you haven't got to pay for an entire skein. And when I buy sock sets with 100-gram skeins, I have enough for another pair of socks, but I've run out of the contrasting color, so then I have to find a new mini with a different color. So I'm going to, it's time consuming because I only have full skeins, so I have to split them up into minis and 50-gram skeins myself. But I'm going to dye up some sock sets, and I may do that next week. Among other things, I'm thinking about dyeing up some with my Vincent with some blue mini skeins. So we'll see what I come up with. I probably will be showing you that in my next podcast, what I've been up to. I'm probably dyeing all next week. So that's about it. I hope you have a really nice weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Goodbye.